Hello, in this training video, we're going to cover how you can submit a Medicare supplement application right on the agent pipeline quoting tool. So what we have done is we've built a multi-carrier, multi-product e-application, making it one simple, easy process, no matter if you are submitting an application for Aetna, Mutual, or any other carriers on the platform. It's going to be one application that you have to learn. And it's really easy because after you run the quote, you can go straight into the application without having to go to the carrier's website and re-enter all the information that you just did on the quoting tool. So for any carriers that we have on the platform, you are going to see this blue Apply Now button. It will take you right into the application. So in this example, we're going to show you how to submit an Accendo application start to finish. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the blue Apply Now button. Now, the first time that you try to submit an application for a carrier, it is going to ask you to validate either your writing number or your producer number in order to get you into the application. We will ping that carrier's database to validate that you are an active agent with them. So when I first submit an application for Accendo, it's going to ask me to enter in my national producer number. I've entered that in. The system has now validated me. After I have done it that first time, the system will automatically remember you, so you don't have to re-enter your national producer number every single time. So when we come over to this screen here, I'm going to show you how you can adjust your views, make it a little bit bigger if you need to. But over here on the right hand side, you will see all of my initial quote details, the age, the gender, tobacco status, all of that automatically carried over for me. So I'm going to hit these three lines here to make my screen a little bit larger. Over on the right hand side, I have my overview and my notifications tab. This e-application is going to underwrite in real time. It will notify you if you've entered in a declinable drug, a declinable condition, even if you have entered in information that will not allow the application to go through. So if you try to submit an open enrollment, but it's really a full underwritten case, the system will notify you of any changes that you have to make in order to submit that application in good working order. You can also gather any of the initial documents, so if you need a copy of an outline of coverage, the application itself, you can download those or send those over in an email. So from here, I can go ahead and go through the application. Accendo does allow for a dual enrollment, so if you do want to do a husband and wife in one application, you can do that on here. It makes it really simple and easy. You would just have an applicant 1 and then an applicant 2, and then each of the screens you will go through, you'll just have a double screen that's similar to this. So I'm just going to say no to this. We're just going to do one individual here. I then can select the underwriting type. So if you selected full underwriting, then your certain sections over here on the right hand side will populate with health condition questions that you'll have to go through, different prescription drugs that you can enter in all of those sections here. So in this case, if I'm just doing an open enrollment, it would bring up the date of birth that I can enter, and then from here I'm going to enter my Part A and Part B effective dates. Now what's great about this system as well is it will read all of those new confusing macro rules. So even if you try to submit or run a quote for a Plan F, and based upon their Medicare Part A and Part B effective dates, it will tell you that that applicant is not valid for that plan. So it really is a smart application, underwriting everything in real time to make sure your application is submitted properly. So after I hit continue here on this next screen, I'm going to have all of my sections that I will have to go through the application. Now this system, you'll notice there's no save button. It's going to automatically save for you. So as you go through each of the sections and hit continue, it is going to save that work for you. You'll notice here I have certain sections that I have to go through and complete. You don't necessarily have to complete the sections in order. You can hop around if you need to. Once a section has been completed, you will see this green check mark. The yellow icon means there's more information needed in order to go through and complete the application. As I go through my applicant information over on the right hand side, you'll notice, as I mentioned previously, that those Plan F is grayed out for me because of those macro rules. So I'm going to go through here start to finish and start completing the applicant information. Once I have gone through that applicant information, if I were to change the age or change the date of birth over here, it would automatically update my quote information. So if I did quote something that was different than what I am initially running, it will go ahead and update all that information here for you. So after I'm completed with that section, I'll go ahead and hit continue. The next section will be the household discount. So when I originally ran the quote, I did run it with a household discount, so it carried all that information over. If I would change this to no, it would then update the price for me for a non-household discount. But in this case, I am going to submit it with one. So I will enter in the other individual's name here, and then we'll hit continue. Medicare information, I will have to go ahead and enter in the Social Security number. It automatically carried over my Part B and Part A effective dates from that previous screen. Yes, yes, and yes. And then we'll hit continue. Previous or existing coverage information. In this case, I can just select no for these different questions. If you were doing a replacement policy, this is where you could answer yes, and it's going to ask you to enter in that policy number. Continue. So it's really easy to go through each of these sections, answer the questions accordingly. All of the questions will match what is on the paper application as well. So you can see as I'm going through here, I have green check marks. Everything is good for me. From here, I can go to the payment. Now, the first signature option that you will see is to print for a wet signature. We are doing this electronically, so I'm going to say no to this. But if you did need to print for a wet signature, that is an option for you. We can do the automatic bank withdrawal. You can choose when that initial draft is going to take place. You can select the day that bank is going to be drafted. You can search for the routing number, so if you wanted to type in a bank, or if you wanted just to type in the bank's routing number or just the name of the bank, it will go ahead and search for those different banks. Select that one and then enter in the account number. And we'll hit continue. So this is the to be completed by producer section. You can deliver where you want the policy to go to. If you had to make any notes to the underwriter, you can do so. In here, you can upload any supporting documents as well. Enter in the producer phone number and the producer's email. If you were requesting split commissions, here I'm not going to. So after I've gone through each of the different sections, I will go ahead and verify the application. This will then take me to the next page where I will review each of the screens and make sure everything is accurate. So if I did have to go back in and edit a particular section, I can do so. You can see all of these are completed here. Once I am done, I do have another option if I wanted to print for the signature, but I am going to lock and e-sign. This will start taking me into the electronic signature process where we will go through each of those different steps here. So this will be agreeing to the terms and the conditions of the electronic signature. Susan Smith will agree and hit continue. Now in this case, we have two options for our signature method. So if I'm in the same physical location, I can do the applicant providing identification information or an email signature link. If I am not in the same physical location, my only option would be that email signature link for Accendo at this time. You will see it automatically carries over the applicant's email address for their signature. I just am doing a test email here, and then it automatically carries over your producer information. So if I was going to do the applicant's present, and they're going to provide their mother's maiden name and the last four digits of their social security number. So when you go through these, you must open and review each of these documents. So I would have to open up each of the documents and review them. You will note that when you do see the paper application, everything is on that carrier's paper. You can see all of this is filled out. You will have to go through. You could check mark, I have read and kept a copy, fill out the mother's maiden name, the last four digits of their social security number, acknowledging the city and the state where they are signing, hitting apply e-signature, and then the producer signature, you will just have to apply your e-signature by check marking that. From there, you'll hit sign application. In this example, since a lot of what we're doing currently is electronic, I'm going to show you what this electronic signature does look like. So I'll select no, then email signature link, and then as the agent, I'm going to apply my e-signature and then hit sign application. From there, I can notify the applicant that they can check their email address. And then as the agent, you will have the opportunity to print and save a copy of all of the documents that you have. It's going to give you a message that this application is now pending signature. So if you click on Return to Applications, this will take you to your application menu to go through each of the applications that you may have started or you have actually submitted and gone through. So you can see my status is just awaiting the email. If for some reason you do need to resend that email to Susan, you could certainly do so here. You can always go through and start an application. Again, it is automatically saving each time you're going through, so if you do need to go back into it, you can always go back in and edit that application. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up what your client will see. Here is a copy of what the email looks like that the applicant will receive. It will have the insurance company name and that you are requesting their signature, so they do know that agent it is coming from. They will have to click on verify signature with code. So please note this code does expire in 2 hours, which is why we do give you that option to resend the email if you need to. So I'm just going to tell the individual to either copy this or write this number down. So then when they click on verify signature with code, they can easily copy and paste that or type it in from when they wrote it down. From here, they will go ahead and enter that code, and then they are going to provide their date of birth, verifying that it is them, and hit verify. From there, they will agree to the terms and the conditions of the electronic signature. They'll select I agree. They then have to open and review all of the forms, so this is their opportunity to receive all of those forms. They can also review the application. Once those have all been opened, they will check mark I have read and kept a copy of the above documents, and then they will acknowledge the city and the state that they're signing in. And then the zip code. From there, they will hit apply e-signature and then hit sign application. So it's a really quick and easy process for that individual, just making sure that they know where they are going to receive the email signature from, so you can show them what that is going to look like. They may have to check their junk or their spam folder, but they will receive this email with all the information for them. So very important that you know the steps if you are doing this email signature option. So once the application has been submitted, it is going to provide them a temporary policy number. This application is still going over to Accendo for Accendo to review and issue the policy. So it will have that policy number, so if the individual does have to go and call in, or you have to check the Accendo portal, you can do so that way. Here is an example of what that looks like. Once they have submitted that, they'll have their policy number. They can jot that and write that down. You can go ahead and go to your applications. You can reload that page, and then you will see the status has then been changed to submitted, and then you have that policy number. So if you do need to view a copy of that application, you can go ahead and view that. If you have any questions on how to use the Accendo MedSup e-app on the quoting tool, please feel free to reach out to Agent Pipeline. They can answer any questions that you have.